Hey YouTube, this is Prometheus, guys, giving you a defensive tip, and this actually is meta. I try to stay away from meta, but ran into an opponent recently that was running this meta defense that has been I guess, has been flagged as a new meta after the patches, and I can tell you that if you're not prepared for this defense, you're going to struggle with it, just like how I struggled with it against this opponent. So basically, it's a quarters defense. You can run it in pretty much every defense. Most defenses have some type of a quarters in it, but this particular opponent was using, I think, the over defense out of the nickel defense, and I really was struggling with it because the way my scheme is built is not designed to have very effective reads against quarters, and as a result, it just seemed like all my guys were covered. There was always a defender in the area. I never had an open wide receiver. And as a result, I really struggled with it. So you can see right here, I was able to find some spots where I can actually hit my opponent, but some of the plays that I like to use just weren't wide open. Right here, basically, I didn't know where to go with it. I did have the guy underneath some of the coverages, but I just missed my read. And then here I was expecting to be able to hit the corner route, but because of the way this defense is set up, the corners get taken away by the quarters, the deep quarters, and as a result, he gets an interception. So I was able to go ahead and pop a couple of runs against this guy just because he was bunching everybody up and putting everybody tight in the box. But for every time I actually got a good run, I would get a bad run. So it was kind of a 50-50 gamble with it, with the run. I tried to do, I think, a shot play right here where I just see if I could throw the ball over the top, and I had to wait for that to develop, and as a result, it really wasn't very easy. And I was throwing into his user territory because he basically was just funneling everything back to me. So, you know, for every good run and for every good play, you put yourself in a risk where you're actually going to be giving yourself an opportunity to turn the ball over. And as a result, I had a really hard time with it. So, you know, like here, the guys were in position in this type of situation to go and take away the run, and as a result, I actually threw it. He ran commit. He started run committing against me down in the red zone because it wasn't like he was going to really do over the top coverage, and you can see he started clogging it up. And I really didn't have any kind of a red zone defense against this quarters defense, so as a result, I gave up a turnover, and that basically got me out of the game. So it's a really good defense, and as a result, the next game I got into, I actually started sprinkling into my scheme, and you're going to see my opponent having the same type of situation. Now, you can get quarters defense out of pretty much every kind of defensive set. I decided to use the over as my primary formation. Off to the right, quarters cover four quarters, basically kind of bunch everybody up, just similar to what my opponent was doing, and then pressing my guys down in the line of scrimmage with this particular play, and basically just playing in the middle of the field, just waiting for a read over the middle of the field with your safety, which is kind of nice because when you do play an over defense or nickel defense, you can put a safety in that's going to give you a better change of direction. But you can see right here, I get a block shed. He's got to wait for his developments going down the field. This is a really good thing to do down in like a 2-minute warning type of situation where he's got to pass the ball to get the ball in. And you can see 3rd and 18 situation, basically about 14 seconds left in a situation where he has to score. I'm getting block sheds off his offensive line, even though he's blocking his running back, and just putting him in a situation where he's really struggling with it. So you can see the match coverage just messes people up. They're expecting you know, people to do that. The couple times I got cute where I was actually blitzing all my linebackers is when he actually made a play with a really good route right there with Patterson to go ahead and get the ball down the end zone. So it was when I started just trying to overthink myself and get out of this defense, that's when basically he was able to expose it. But you can see right here, basically he dropped it right down here. This one guy might have had a defender right there. He didn't make a play against the ball, so it's actually, it wasn't a broken coverage. There was a defender right there. You can see right here he doesn't know where to go with it. But when I switched up my defense, just got a little bit cute, went with a cover 3, this guy just dotted me up like that. So you just don't get out of this cover 4. You want to stay in this cover 4 is your primary defense, and there's no reason to go into any other types of coverages. So going against a guy with the Philadelphia coverage, I basically went ahead and was doing underneath coverages to try to take away the sidelines. So I was actually going ahead and underneathing the coverages. But the problem with underneath coverages is sometimes you can actually give us some plays. So right here with a crosser, you know, he actually hits it. But watch this play off to the right. I do have my guys off the line of scrimmage, but because this plays underneath, he actually allows the wide receiver to get above him and actually go ahead and get on top of it. So if you do play underneath coverages, realize that you're gonna have to go ahead and pass commit and actually give up the run, just because you want to make sure those guys are falling back into their zones immediately. Also, another thing I discovered too going against this guy is that if you press, once again, even if you don't pass commit and go over in the coverages, they can beat you over the top. So in these two situations where I was trying to run this defense a little bit more closely, you want to stay away from pressing your coverages, and you also want to try to go ahead and make sure that you're not doing completely underneath unless you expect it. But a lot of times if he tries to lob it over the top, you can get interceptions against your opponent. Now, one of the things I wanted to do is I wanted to try to make sure this tick to the sidelines. So what you want to do is you want to coverage underneath and coverage over the top. And this is going to put your guys on the cloud flats to get them out to the sidelines to play the sidelines. And then you can kind of experiment with things right here. So right here I go ahead and jump into basically cover 2 coverage and basically hit him with some very heavy man pressure. And as a result, he's not able to get the ball away. So here's where the coverage actually didn't hit, but you want to try to blend in that blitz. Back at it again with my opponent. He was trying to throw over the top. I'm trying to blitz him a little bit. I'm trying to sprinkle it in, but you want to use that cover 4 coverage on a regular basis. So right here, you know, all I got to say is that with this good defense, it works. It's a good base defense to use in your scheme. I would say you probably want to blend it in. I'm also working on offenses. I've already found an offense that's going to expose this defense, this cover 4 quarters defense, where it's going to give you multiple different plays, the area to hit. This is going to be out of my 49ers playbook that I'm working on, but I had to blend this in because one of the first games I came in with a new scheme. I ran a cover 4. I didn't know what to do. So you're going to see this online. Once again, guys, thank you for your support, and if you want to see plays to actually beat cover 4, go ahead and make a comment down below. Let me know what you guys like to use and if you need any tips. So thank you for your time. Until next time.